All right. Greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining in for today's Q2UA Health is Wellness. We appreciate your support and we appreciate you all joining. Of course, we have our panelists, Sister Darlene as well as Sister Ashley. So let's welcome everybody, and then we'll
Shalom,
begin the show.
family. Um, Hopefully, all is well. And it's a blessing to be here today, and I'm excited to be a part of this conversation.
Well, thank you so much for having me once again. I am excited to be here among my sisters and also my brothers and sisters. And I pray that whatever we share today can be a blessing to someone that can use it or may it may help their lives in some type of way.
All right, good. So today's topic is, in a nutshell, keeping well, especially during these times that we're living in, especially with all of the sickness that's going around, during the winter months, and how we as a community can keep well. So, we'll be discussing some home remedies, things from our childhood that we used to keep well with, so that we don't have to go to the hospital or the doctor, but, are just as good as, medication. So, who wants to start?
Well, okay, so um, peace and blessings to all the brothers and sisters out there. I know that I was gone for a while, and so therefore I am so excited to be back. For some reason, December, this weather, which is a really a good example, everything's going around, and so for me and my family, I know myself and my husband, we naturally whatever's out there, we caught these really really bad colds. And I know when I was a little bitty girl, one of the things that my mother used to do all the time, and you all are going to know this, she used to take onions and have us put socks on and put the onions at the base of our heels. Now, what the onion would do is literally it would draw out whatever impurities was actually literally in your system. You know, so the onion would be white, but then after she takes the socks off overnight, of course, naturally, whatever was in your bloodstream or whatever, it would come out, and that's because of the sulfur in the onion. The sulfur, it draws out, it cleans up, and it purifies. And so, yeah, that's kind of one of the things that my parents used to do as a child. There was Vicks cold syrup that they used to buy at the store, to give us when I was a little girl. They would have us drink something with like honey and a little garlic in there and a little lemon. So these are all home remedies that my parents used to use as a little child. So yeah, going as far back as my childhood memory, these are the things that my parents used to use. Um, yeah. So.
That's good. I know
What
it
about you all?
well, for
Yeah.
me, oh, did you want to go, Sister
No,
Darlene?
go ahead.
For me, we used to have Diamond Tap. I don't know if it worked, but it tasted good, the great kind.
Yes, yes.
But also, we used to have, the natural orange juice, and then we would have um, like oil of oregano. And
Hmm.
then I just learned of a new remedy where you have like oil of oregano as well as grape juice and I think pineapple juice, to work like almost like a cough syrup, and then also like a what they call as an expectorant. It basically expels like mucus and stuff like that. Sounds nasty, but it works.
Mhm.
And recently, I was sick too. I had a cold maybe about a week or two ago, and I tell you, colds are very different when you're an adult. But I was able to get back to health, of course, with the prayer of the Most High. And then, too, I was making my teas. So I was making green tea, I was making dandelion root tea, I was making hibiscus tea and ginger tea. And also, I put some clove in there as well as some pineapple juice and as well as a oil of oregano. It sounds nasty, but it's a good concoction and it really helped.
Yes. Well, my mother would used to cut up a lemon, a whole lemon, onion, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
garlic, cloves, and she would a red onion, and she would boil that in a pot of water, and then she would strain it and give it to us hot. But she would put honey in it, some cayenne pepper, and before we went to bed, she would give it to us and rub some Vicks Sass on our chest. And when we woke up, we felt better. And I still do that too today. Also, with the oregano, there's you can make a tincture, which is it is you're soaking the herbs in either alcohol or
Mm-hmm.
glycerin, and all your cold medicines already have like your NyQuil and all of that. That has alcohol in it, so you're not going to be, it's not going to unless you have other uh,
Comorbidities.
right, where you can't, have it, but you can take a few drops after you make the tincture, and that's something you have to look up. You soak the herbs in it for a few weeks, and it pulls the medicinal properties off of the herbs, and you can drink, put a few drops under your tongue. You can put it in water um, and use it that way, and it helps with other stuff. And also mullein. Mullein is
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that word.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a little difficult, but it's
Right.
explorative.
Yeah, for mucus and respiratory. So those are some of the things that I know I work on, and I do rosemary, um, peppermint tea, eucalyptus,
Mm-hmm.
eucalyptus tea, um, burdock root
That's
also
also
helps
good.
clean the blood. And because what you want to do too, and I'm not a doctor, you want to increase your white blood cells too to be able to fight off
Off, right.
some of the infections. So,
Absolutely.
That's so
Absolutely.
true.
mm,
Your oil of oregano, I know, you know, I'm Miss Darlene's, adopted baby. So she sent me some oil of oregano, and that helped too when I was, sick. So thank you so much, Sister Darlene.
oh, you're so welcome.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. We did. Yeah, I do put olive oregano as well and drops of water and just drink it, stir it up and drink it down. That is
Mhm.
excellent for the blood. It cleans. It does. It works like an surfactant, like a detergent. Yeah, and it
Hmm.
pretty much does pull out a lot of the toxins that's actually absolutely in the blood. So yeah, these are all really good things. Also for coughs, rose hips. Yep, I
Hmm.
think it's good for coughs as well. Is it called hoary hound, I believe? Or, that's good for coughing as well too. So yeah, these are all things that during this time in this season, people definitely need to be using. I do notice that from where I came from to where I am back home here, the air is we the I don't know what it is about the colder weather or the winters. Um, there's more chemical, I guess, or more things being sprayed, and so it's an increase in upper respiratory, infections. I noticed that a lot of my family, my daughters and also my grandbabies and stuff the upper respiratory is, you know, has exploded this time of the year. So we
And
have to
it's
be very,
because
very careful. Hmm.
Sorry,
Yes.
sorry about that. And it's
No,
because,
keep going.
we tend to stay more indoors during the winter months. And so, during the winter months,
Yes.
we don't have much ventilation within the house. So if there's a pathogen, or some form of virus or bacteria, unfortunately, if you don't like open your windows to try to air out the house, it will stay stagnant and it'll be circulated through the air conditioning or yeah, through the air conditioning unit. And then unfortunately, that's how people get sick. And then also your immune system is more compromised when you spend more time indoors because you're not exposed to as many pathogens. And so your body doesn't have the ability to fight it off as it should, as if you were going out and kind of being exposed to it, because your immune system would be active. But since it's the winter months, we're more so inside. And so our immune system doesn't have that ability to fight off the infection as it would, during the summer months. And then also, I just wanted to piggyback off of what you said with, the different herbs that can help with coughing and stuff like that. Pineapple juice is a very good, medicinal property that some people overlook. There's a constituent in there or an ingredient in the pineapple juice, which is called bromelain, which helps suppress the cough as well as get all the mucus and stuff out, that causes the cough. And then one more thing with the oil of oregano, I'm surprised that you sister actually putting the oil of oregano in the water. You almost grow hair on your chest with that. But
Yeah, look, you better look, you better say something about that because yes, absolutely. I have to definitely, that's why I fill the glass completely all the way up with water. And then I might add like 2 or 3 drops in there and then back it up with some water again because yeah, it will, if it's too strong, it will burn, of course, naturally
mhm,
your throat and stuff like that. But sometimes that's not always a bad thing, you know. But yeah, yeah. First, my body's on fire, and then once I drink the water, then I'm fine. But yeah, yeah. I used to do it a lot during the summertime, and it's
and
interesting more in the summertime than the wintertime.
Right.
and
No.
then
What I
also
would
with
think
oil,
is preparedness before this season come, like taking starting your zinc, your vitamin C, your selenium, and
Yes.
there's a couple of other ones that do your own research because we're not giving medical advice. But
exactly.
yeah, being because I grew up on cod liver oil. Um,
Yes, my mom told me about that. She says disgusting.
Yeah, I did too. I did
it is,
too.
but I
Hmm.
don't have a problem taking almost anything. I can just drink it down, and that's just something
Mhm.
I've been blessed with. I don't have a problem with
God bless
taking.
you. Because Lord knows I cannot.
I mean, like, just get it over with. You know, my father pulled out that cod liver oil, and here, this all you need: castor oil and cod liver oil. That was our medicine,
Hmm.
Clean you out good.
right? So yeah, but try to prepare with supplements, a good supplement, because all of them,
Mhm.
you have to find a good company to that and read the ingredients on your supplements too, because they put a lot of stuff in there that's not right to and charge you a whole bunch of money. So
Yeah, they put a lot of fillers in there as well, and to balance the quantity that they have on there for the how would you say for the actual ingredient that you want. For instance, like if you take turmeric, which you could make turmeric powder and put it in capsule form, and you'll just be getting the straight turmeric. But
right,
if you buy it from another company or something like that, turn it over and look at the label because they'll put like silica and they'll put a lot of fillers in there, and then that reduces the quantity and potency of the actual curcumin or the turmeric.
yeah,
So you're really not getting, the actual ingredient that you buy. You're getting mostly fillers.
right. Better yet, grow your turmeric and grow
Mhm.
your ginger, grow your rosemary, grow your thyme, grow your sage, just grow if you can in a pot. Just grow those things, and you can make your own tinctures. You can make your own. You can even dry it out and make it into a pill form, or put it into capsules.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So we do have a couple comments. We do have one says, when they experienced that, pandemic or pandemic, or they used marshmallow root as well as quercetin and NAC, which is very good because marshmallow root, it acts like not really a surfactant, a lubricant, right? So it
Yes.
acts like a lubricant.
Hmm.
Sorry, hold on. That was my alarm. My apologies. But so marshmallow root acts like a lubricant, especially for your respiratory tract, especially if you're doing a lot of coughing and stuff like that. It kind of soothes it. And then also you have quercetin, which also
Mhm.
acts like an anti-inflammatory agent. And then you have NAC, which is I think non-acetyl cysteine, and so
Mhm.
basically what that is, it's a antioxidant. And so that helps you, especially if you're, fighting something, because if it's an antioxidant, it will remove the bad cells, like the bacteria or the virus, and then clean it out of your system and flush it out. And it'll also cause cellular rejuvenation or regeneration as well. So that's a very good combination.
Yes, yeah.
And
And those I take those two. I do take with the vitamin C and Cineum. Um, I just couldn't remember. Yeah.
no problem. And we also have one. What is a good mucus killer for 2 and under? For me,
Mm.
I would definitely go with what you said before, Sister Ashley, is the onion, putting the onion underneath the foot, and
Yes.
then putting a sock on.
Yes. Yes. That's the best, and to me, that's the actually the best and one of the best and safest ways to do it, especially if, nowadays, I, once again, as we know, these systems, you go in a store, and I'll give you a really good example of how you really need to be very, very careful of what you purchase in your local um, pharmacy stores. Let's just say it
Mhm.
like that. My husband and I, when we got back, he went to the store, and of course, naturally, I was taking some elderberry syrup, and just doing some vitamin C, powder or whatever, because we felt something coming on. As we got a little bit worse, because the body, it has to go through something in order to flush it out. Anything that is foreign, like a virus, is going to do that. And so he went and he purchased some Alka-Seltzer, which I had not taken in a long time, Alka-Seltzer Plus capsules. And he also purchased, trying to think of the other one, but there's an article out that you have to be careful of these things, because now what they're doing is they're putting feces of all types in these things. So back then, I had already taken a one of the capsules. Okay, I'd taken one or two because I had not taken this stuff in a long time. And then there was some other things that was in another particular product. And there is an article out there you need to kind of search out and take a look. Bird and rat droppings that they found in these particular medicines. So yeah, you have to be very, very careful, especially when you have a young child. Pray to the Most High what direction to go in. But the home remedies are really actually at this point, I would say, and we're not doctors, but for us as children, these things worked. So if they worked with us as little kids, they'll still work on the younger children as of right now. So.
I agree with that. I think I saw that the other day, but it was actually unfortunately, it was on a TikTok, and somebody had posted like several medications, conventional medications, some NSAIDs, popular NSAIDs. Y'all get the hint that is on the
Hmm.
recall list. And that's possibly because of all that's been put in there. And, just
Yes.
thinking about it, hindsight, they probably put that in there obviously to get you sick and also to mess up your gut microbiome because as you know, 70 to 80% of the immune system lies within our gut. And if
Mhm.
you put, that type of abominations, nastiness into the medication that we take, of course, nobody's going to think that, it's going to mess them up. Of course, they think it's going to help them. But if they take that and if that indeed has those bad things in it, it can mess up and alter your gut microbiome and cause you to be even sicker than,
Mhm.
what you started.
Right.
Yes,
And then
exactly.
you think about, I'm sorry, go ahead, Sister Ashley.
No, no, I was just absolutely 100% agreeing with that. I'm not necessarily saying that the companies, and I want to clear this up, that the companies themselves is doing this, but a lot of times these things they set in a warehouse and ain't no telling what gets a hold of them. So that may be a part of what's causing all of this as well. That was it.
And then as you know, once the government has shut down a lot of these uh, organizations that were supposed to be oversights with, with regulations that they don't, they're more likely not to really care about the guidelines and the regulations at this point anymore because they know they can get away with it. And
Exactly.
yeah, so we are really in the Most High's hand, and I'm looking for that supernatural power um, to cover us and to keep, no matter what they do, to keep us from the harms that they trying to put upon us. So that's where we kind of have to just depend on the Most High to, um, if we ingest any of this stuff, that He removes it. He can remove it um, from us.
Hmm.
He'll
Mm.
purify our blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say to piggyback off of what Sister Darlene said, as a manufacturing consultant, and working in, the manufacturing industry, that is so true. Like, even if the criteria is not completely met as far as for release, then they'll still be able to release it as long as QA or quality assurance, and then as well as the inspection and regulatory bodies approve it. They'll just release it, and it doesn't matter the impact that it has. They'll just say it adheres to their policy requirements, it adheres to their SOPs, which is standard operating procedures and guidelines. As long as they click the check and stuff of that matter, they're free to release it, and they're not liable for recalls.
Right, that goes to the USDA, right?
Yes, sir.
As
That goes to
well,
them.
And so once those measures were put on the back burner, let's just say that, or reduced to nothingness, like you say, quality control, these types of standards that would normally go through a process, um, they no longer um, exist. So, but I was going to say also with young children, to the mother who had asked that question of a child under two. Sometimes what you could do is get what is like diffusers and
Mhm.
also humidifiers work well in a room with young children. You can probably just take something like what I normally would do is take just like a half a teaspoon of like Vicks or whatever, put it it's a space that you can sit it in your humidifier, and then just kind of let that fill up the room. Just let it blow. And what that'll do is that'll help break up some of the mucus in the baby as well. And they have children's little small things like that, rubs and different things like that you can use homemade, even in the stores, the organic, you know, section, you can go in there and probably find some type of growth that you can use that's natural that wouldn't harm your child as well. So I just wanted to add that to the person who asked that prior to our conversation.
I also think they have like little nebulizers, like portable
Hmm.
nebulizers that will help as
Exactly.
well. During
Yes.
that, pandemic, people were using colloidal silver, and putting
Yes.
it into the nebulizer to help with it. Also, I was just thinking zinc. Zinc helps, but make sure you eat with zinc. Eat first before you take zinc. But zinc also helps as well as a natural immune booster and protector as well. But yeah, these are all good things. Let's check the chat. Oh my gosh, someone says after the jab, my hip blew out in 2022. My goodness. I pray for your healing. I'm making sure. And then, I had a little bit of a revelation this morning. I was just looking at my pantry. I was like, and then some of the things that I prepared to cook and to eat and stuff like that. If everybody noticed, like the packaging, even on meats and stuff, is getting very, very slim. It's slim pickings. Like they're putting less and less in there. And then as far as like the processed foods, which you should really eliminate or keep to moderation, that's getting smaller, but they're also putting more chemicals in there to make sure that you get addicted. So when their ultimate plan, the powers that be, decide to enforce, one world government, which is in the process now, just so y'all know. But when they decide to do that, and you have to come to them to, get your ration, you're already going to be addicted. You're already going to be unfortunately sick, and you're also going to be addicted. So, and you're also going to be looking for, food. But all of this is planned. Is to get you sick. Is to get you dependent, and is to, follow the agenda, if you will.
One of the things to what you were saying about the meats too, what people may want to start doing, and I learned this a long time ago. I mean, this is something that we were probably doing all the way back into ancient times, and I'm gonna touch on that for just a second too, for people to understand that um, the Most High has taken us back to things that we used to do in the very beginning, before all these processes and these systems began to be built up. So, what people may want to do is first I know eating beef or even eating chicken, make sure that you are going to farmers markets that still exist. There are some that are stores now. I know in Missouri we have them going everywhere. What they want to do is, first of all, beef should have marrow and bone in it. That's just natural. If you're getting beef that don't have some substance of marrow, bone, fattiness in it, you got to make sure that that's what's happening. Also, you want to take that beef and what my family do sometimes is we will kosher it. And koshering is very simple. It's very, very simple. You can take a kosher salt. Um, Sometimes I use a little bit of sea salt. It doesn't matter. Put it in cold water in there and allow that beef to sit in it for a few minutes. And what you'll see is it'll start to pull out a lot of the impurities that's actually in the beef. That's just kind of like just my way of doing it. And I'll be willing to share that information, me, or if
Good.
they have it in the jot form or whatever. Different, a couple of other different ways you can do to kosher things. But yeah, we need to start doing that now because when I went on vacation, where it was a bunch of farmers because I wanted to see how different. And one of the things is that here, um, which a lot of us still do or whatever, even over there sometimes. But we keep our foods for longer periods of times on shelves when in other cultures and other spaces they don't do that. They cook fresh every day. Like everything comes straight from the farm every day. So, not saying that they don't have refrigerations, but if they keep something in there, it might be 2 or 3 days. But after that, and so all that preservation or preserving that we do in these commercial spaces, that's when chemicals and these different things are added into our foods, and it makes it very unhealthy. What I did notice is that a lot of the farmers are going back to what is called ancient civilization methods or methods that we used as agriculturalists, back then or whatever. And most of them are doing something of the discussion that Darlene had mentioned. I think it might have been a month into our just when we first started. She mentioned cold frames. They're going back to cold framing, and cold framing is basically just putting a frame over what is called a built hotbed or Hugo culture, which means you dig the bed, the garden bed down, and you begin to add layering, almost like a Hugo mound, but a little bit different. It's more in ground, and they build upon that. So they're adding all your green manures, your cold manures, and these types of things, and they're building the bed up, and they're putting the quality of the topsoil that is in the natural space of where they're living on the bed. And then they're growing a diversity of food within that one space. It was absolutely amazing. Out of the farmers that I met, 8 to 10 of them are actually doing this. So these are some of the ancient ways and methods we can take with us, whether you're here or whether you're abroad. So that information, I please remind me, Stephanie, to learn the jot form and share this information with people who still have a mindset to grow food, whether it's here or beyond these walls. Because these methods, the Most High put in place for us to understand them and to learn them, because everybody is not going to be with everybody. And people need to learn how to grow different ways and different methods, how to grow their own food. So I just kind of wanted to share that a little bit of my vacation, what I learned, but it's just good to know these things because they are they're doing things to the food that we shouldn't be doing to the food.
Wow.
Yeah, to try to get us.
Yeah, that's some good
Yes.
information. I also, if I'm cooking meat, I do put it in the salt, kosher salt, and I'll
Hmm.
add um, lemon to it,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I let it sit overnight in the refrigerator.
Hmm.
But one other way that our families used to preserve stuff is to put in salt.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yes.
know, they
Because it cooks. That's a way of cooking it too. Absolutely. Yeah.
in the old smokehouse where the meat would last a long time. You know, they could go to the smokehouse and get meat that was hanging up in there. I don't know all the how to do it, but I know salt is a preservative for your meat. So, wow, yeah,
Yeah.
we have to get back to the old ways and of doing things.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And it's biblical, to use the salt and to salt the meat. But I'm so glad y'all mentioned kosher. Like, of course, we know that is, part of Hebrew culture, but also the other ish culture. But I never knew the process and how simple it could be. I'm gonna start doing it.
Mhm.
Yes, right. The immediate, like Darlene was saying, yeah, usually it's overnight depending on, if you're waiting for that. But if you're doing something as simple as, say, for instance, oh, I want some steak or something like that. and you go to, you get your meat. Um, Usually when it's a quick preparation, that's what we would do, like for 15 minutes, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
or whatever. But if
Hmm.
it's something that like a roast or something that you want to let sit overnight, or you can do other meats like that. You can do turkey like that. You can do chicken like that. Make sure that you be careful with the chicken because it absorbs. It's a thin. It's a what do you? It's a leaner.
Works as
Any
yeah.
meat that's a little leaner. Yeah, you have to really basically time that. But for the most part, yeah, you would sit that stuff in the refrigerator overnight and let it marinate that way.
Hmm.
And it's the best meat and the most tenderest meat
Yes.
ever.
I would imagine.
Yeah. And sometimes, you take the lemon for your chicken too, and rub the lemon over all over the outside and over the chicken
Hmm.
with getting rid of, I guess, bacteria or whatever could be on the meat. Because
Okay, I can set the ends. Was there anything that would have come out of the meat that would freak y'all out? Because that would make me, oh, it just worked my nerves. I can't, like worms and so I cannot. Have y'all experienced that?
I have, I'm skeptic of salmon now and fish with salmon because it's if it's and it's sometimes they'll say caught, but um that's probably the only thing. I don't eat anything. Um, lamb, chicken, and maybe some beef. If at that, that's probably all I'm. Now, if somebody bring me a fresh caught fish, then like my family, then I'll eat that. But I don't know. It's something about salmon now.
Yeah. It's a good fish. It's a good fish too, because it has omega-3s and fatty acids and stuff, which help
Right,
with the inflammation.
right.
And it's
It's
like,
the big box stores that I mostly now. I would eat it if someone um if I could go to like a finer fish place that only deal with wild caught fish. And
yeah.
there's a couple of places up in Savannah that I would go to. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, because they've been seeing a lot of stuff in salmon. What um look for is the sockeye
Yes.
salmon. Okay, Alaskan wild type of salmon, not just the basic, because you could tell the difference in the meat. You could tell the difference in the texture of the fillet, what it looks like. If you're getting something that's hard pink and you could hit it on the counter and you got some rubber, then this is an issue. But if you're going to make sure, and like Darlene said, you want to go to like a farmer's market that sell fresh, that right? A person that knows, have knowledge of different types of fillets and fish that you can purchase, then yes, absolutely. Um, and that you trust, because I'm gonna say this is an issue. It's a trust issue because we know what we've been fed and we know that what we've been told a lot of times about food, we know it's not what the truth should be. Okay. It's a lie. And so you do have to be very, very careful about what types of fish you do eat. Cod, like she said, cod is something that is really good. Yeah, fish. It's got all types of good omegas 3, 6, 9, 12. It's got everything, and but you have to be very, very careful where you purchase your fish at, and if you do, make sure that it's sockeye. Yeah.
I would definitely agree because, like you said, there's a difference in the texture of the fish. Of course,
Hmm.
farm raised salmon is, it's light pink, and it will usually just say farm raised. And by farm raised, it means like the fish is fed like grain. And as we know, sometimes the grain may be genetically modified, which can cause more inflammation. So even though you may think that you're eating healthy by, purchasing this farm raised salmon, obviously it's healthier than a processed, like hamburger, but it's pretty much the same. I mean, you might as well be eating junk food with that because it causes inflammation in your body. Whereby the wild caught salmon, the sockeye, it's
Mm-hmm.
more rich and in color, and it's pink. Well, it's like a red or a deep pink. I would say like red or deep pink.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more flakier and a little bit harder. I would say it
Hmm.
depends on how you cook it, but it's a
Right.
vast difference. It's a vast difference.
Right. And in the farm raised too, they put dye in there to make it pink. And another thing, when you soak your meat like overnight or some, because it pulls out that fake blood that they put on the meat to make it look red. Because we know when something is processed like a meat like that, it doesn't, it doesn't stay pink like we see our meat
Right.
in the market. So that's another way. I mean, the way they're processing our food is to make it look fresh. So yeah. So when you soak it, it pulls out, you know, most of all the that I forgot the name of what they call that stuff they put it in to make it look red.
I did too. Some people use,
Red
unfortunately,
dye.
though.
Red
Go
dye
ahead. Yeah.
40. Yeah.
No, it's not a red dye. It's like a slime or something, or some they put the meat in
Oh.
to make
Oh
it
my
look red.
gosh.
Packaging.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it though. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Right. Exactly. Hmm. I know. That's
Unfortunately,
horrible.
yeah.
Right. It's not good at all.
Mhm.
And then even some, like you said, Sister Ashley and Sister Darlene, it's best to go to your local farmers market where you know where the meat is coming from and you know the farms in which it's coming from. Because I've noticed even when I tried to go to, different butcher shops that are like commercialized, that the meat, it still stinks. It stinks. And then I also smell like Clorox or chlorine. And so I'm like, okay, are y'all, using chlorine or using Clorox to do away with the smell? And then also, like Sister Darlene said, that it just stays like pink or stays red, to try to emulate the presence of blood, but it's not. Blood oxidizes, and when it oxidizes or breaks down, it just means that the blood changes colors from red to like brown, which is normal because
Mhm.
it's, if it's good and natural and organic meat, that's what it's supposed to do. So it's not
Yeah,
supposed to say,
oxidation. Hmm.
there you go, there you go. Oh, someone says it's called pink glue. That
Brother
ugh,
Howard. Hmm.
yes.
Yes, that's it. Hmm. Ink glue. Ew.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness.
And
You,
to
you
think,
can't. Ew. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Just a
I'm
visual.
sorry, I was just saying, look how the Most High keeps us. They do everything to try to get rid of us, but I don't know if y'all ever watched the movie. It's called Baby's Kids, but we don't die, we multiply.
They
Just
can't
keep going.
destroy us. They keep trying, but they can't. The
Hmm.
Most High, He keep us, and it's amazing how we're still here. And that's where I've been working on trying to work on the spiritual preparedness, that part of making sure that I'm giving life, my time, which I call time, to the Most High, to stay in
Yes.
His Word, to stay in prayer. I wonder sometime about the first Exodus and what happened during the first Exodus. Were did they go out and work, or were they in the house in Goshen, and then the Most High just provided everything supernaturally, or Um, so, and it worked out perfect because they were not in lack, being under the Most
Mm.
High. So I may be all over the place, but you know, um, how did they do it? I mean, I don't know where in the Bible it said they. I know they when the last plague that they put the blood over the door, but in the meantime, what was going on with the other plagues that was coming that they didn't get the frogs and the stuff like that? Were they in their house or were they just out in public? And that's just my mind, y'all. So.
No,
But
actually,
just
that's
a thought to,
yeah.
how do we do this? How do we maneuver through this and making sure that we are spiritually prepared? And that's for, what's coming and what's here.
That's a good thing you said that because I think one way that because of the season that we're in and what you were saying, sometimes he separates us for reasons that only he knows. But when the revelation comes, he'll give that to you. What I do want to say is this is a season of purification. So, and it's preparing us for Exodus. Even though this is January, it's still preparing us for what's to
Mhm.
come. And sometimes it's good to be separated. Now, I'm going to use the analogy of the garden as an example of our bodies as well. So, one thing, the understanding that in the revelation that he's been giving to me the last 3 weeks because I vacationed and I met a lot of variety of agriculturalists and farmers from different countries, which was amazing. And one thing that I saw is the one thing is that all of them are connected and they work together as a community. Um, and one thing you have to do is when you're purifying and when you're separating and when you're growing and these things for an encouragement, one thing he wants to do whenever you're preparing a garden, whether it be a small space in your house or whether it be a space in your yard, one of the things you want to do is clear out any debris, anything that's going to affect that crop or that yield to grow to its fullest. So a lot of times you clear the debris out. He also helps you to prepare the soil, to build the soil up to its maximum capacity so that whatever you're growing, it grows to its fullest potential. It's the same thing with the body, right? So a lot of times we don't know why he's taking us through stuff, but there's for reasons because your testimony of what you're going through right now, this is how they got through the Exodus because he separated them for one, then he covered them with the blood of the lamb, right? He put it over the doorpost, right? And then we were sheltered for the season that's coming. So that whenever that season comes in, your body and everything has been cleared out so that you can hear and receive what it is that he's telling you to do in that moment. So that's a good thing that you brought that up out because it's the same thing with the garden. You got to clear it out. You got to make sure that all of the debris and everything that may attack it, you want to put these clean things around, whether it be different herbs or insecticide. Insecticides would be your herbs or different things that will keep away the pests, so that when you put that seed in there, that soil is healthy, it's at its capacity, and it can grow. So it's the same thing with the children of Israel. I think right now, and this is just something that he's been putting on my heart. When you lay a foundation of a house, you got to be able to build a community up. And so a
Mhm.
lot of times we have to begin to start supporting those who need support within the foundation. This is the same thing as a house. You can't build a roof without the foundation. You have to lay it. You have to layer it like brick by brick by brick by brick, so that way, whatever you're going through in your testimony can help someone else. And I'm hoping I'm getting to what you're saying. Okay. Because this is what he's been putting on my heart as well, Darlene, and I truly understand um, the spiritual dynamic of what's going on. And so that's that same thing, that support. He wants you to clear out anybody that's not supporting you. He wants you to clear those people out because a lot of times, if they're not supporting you, they're against you. If they're supporting you, you want to keep these people around because these people are going to encourage you. They're going to continue to build you up. They're going to continue to strengthen you with the help of the Most High. These are the people that you want to have around that encourage you and keep you in these times. Two, if these people are not helping you out, if they're 1 minute you before them and the next minute you ain't no telling what's going on, get rid of that. It's the same thing as getting rid of the junk in the house.
Right.
It's the same thing with the soil and with the gardening. It all goes together.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I love
you're saying something. You're saying something powerful.
that.
And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
anyway, I'm gonna stop
I
because
mean, you
you
was
got me to
flowing
say
with it. You was
Yes,
flowing with
I
it.
love that analogy because that's where I don't have a problem with people.
hmm
Distancing myself and because I am basically I don't have that community. I am, I have the most high and that's about it. But that analogy,
Here.
that's what I've been doing, cleaning out spiritual things that's not spiritual and
hmm
high. And that's I've been working on that here lately because it's been put in my ruha to make sure that every breath, every thought is coming from the Most High, that I'm following His instructions. And sometime I'll be doing things that's really not necessary to for um for the preparation. You can prepare physically all you want, but then what about the spiritual part? We have to
Yes.
really work on that, making sure we're, you know, um, because that's how we're going to hear and be moved and to do the Most High's will and to be in to hear His instructions plainly because it's so much noise out there that I have to shut it off um,
hmm
and just be still and know that He's Yah. And the battle is His, not ours. We're
Mhm.
we're we don't fight this battle. It's His battle. So okay, I'll be quiet now. But
No, this is
comments
good.
in the live that are really good that Brother Ivan and a couple of other comments in there that
Just wanted to say, I think, there's an African proverb where it says, if you want to go far or fast, you go alone. But if you want to, go on a slow journey, then you go with others. So, like you were saying, the Most High is separating His people right now, and is He's making a vast difference between us and the world, or even those that call themselves Hebrews. And then those that unfortunately called themselves Christians. He's making a distinction between all of us, and we have to just use the discernment of the ruach to be able to decipher, what's going on and what we need to be doing. But this is awesome. This is good. And we'll go to some of these
Yes.
comments.
okay.
Like Brother Ivan said, he says Goshen sat up on a hilly area where there was pastures for grazing. I submit that lowlands along the Nile was at sea level. Thus, Goshen was safe from a lot of things, but not entirely. And so I believe that's where the blood came in as well, and just the Most High's divine protection came in if it wasn't safe for His people.
Hmm.
Yes.
I didn't know that it was on a hill. That's good information. And
Hmm.
then we have papaya and pepper. I like the name. It's cute. It says the Lord says He is going to show everyone how much you are loved and how to be receiving now and not
hmm
giving, and to relax and allow Him to penetrate. I
Yeah.
like that because
Yes.
we
Hallelujah.
hallelujah to that, because we as a people, we just been in constant survival mode. Wherever we've been, shipped off to, and wherever we're staying right now, we've just been in survival mode and just giving, giving, giving to the point of exhaustion sometimes. But
Yes.
I'm glad they wrote that. Now it's time for us to receive and to relax,
Yes.
and then
No, it's
keep the law.
actually it's
Go ahead.
yes. No, I was just going to say it's really actually good to be able to open up and to talk because, Darlene, believe it or not, a lot of our brothers and sisters, um, you have a heart to help and you care about others and along with a lot of our brothers and sisters. But some people need to hear. They need to hear this in this moment because, um, believe it or not, a lot of us are going through something and by that separation, like the brothers and sisters are saying, he's trying to reveal something to us. He's trying to show us something, which is
Mhm.
really, really good. And you know me, I'm ready to go there again. It all goes back to the soil and to the garden. Okay, it all
Yes,
goes back.
from
That's
which we
Look
really
back to
come.
the
good.
fruit.
Really good. Yes,
I
definitely.
had to throw that in there. I love what I do. So
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, no, I think it's necessary because we're going through it together, as
Mhm.
you can see, Darlene. And you have a much stronger community that's backing you up than you even realize. We all
Mhm.
do.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we are soil. We are the earth. So
That's
I
right.
really a good analogy and of cleaning up. And
hmm
yes.
I agree with that. I like that. Because it has a lot of context because what you plant within your ruach is going to take root. And so, of
Mhm.
course, you have, as a good gardener, you definitely want to make sure that the
hmm
seed that you plant is good seed. Otherwise, it'll grow up and you have to use your discernment to know what's good and what's bad.
Right.
Exactly. It'll be rooted on good ground. If not,
Hmm.
it'll grow up and be choked out.
Yes. That's
So
why we eat the word.
yeah.
We eat the
hmm
study and learn the word because it's life for us. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Ashley. Mhm.
No, that's good. Yes. No, absolutely. I agree with you. It is life. hmm
We are at our hour at 9 a.m. Do you guys have anything else to say?
No, I just want people to continue to keep growing. If you have a desire to grow and you have a desire to grow beyond these borders, listen to me, family.
Mhm.
Okay? Listen to me. Get with people who are like-minded because the Most High is kind of returning us back to one humanity, okay? Loving
Mhm.
Him and loving the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and loving our neighbor as ourselves, which means community and connectivity. Community is very, very important, right? It's the foundation that builds a house, really. We do need one another to be able to build upon that house. And so, if you are interested in order
Cut out.
to
If you're
my
interested,
how to do jot forms so I could get into the email and get the comments out of there. December was really a busy, busy month for me, but I am back and getting strong and I was sick for a couple of weeks, so I'm getting strong from the cold that I've had and stuff like that. But I've really enjoyed this conversation. So if you want to touch base with me on
I think she said if you want to touch bases with Sister Ashley or any one of us, then you definitely can fill out the job form. It's also in our outro that's about to play. You could just either screenshot the recording, and then it also has a QR code where you guys can just go ahead and use your phone or tablet or any computer to capture the QR code, and it will take you right to the job form as well as our websites. So Does anybody else have anything else to say?
No, well, thank you, family. I enjoyed the conversation. I started out this morning saying, I don't really have a lot to say.
I did too.
Look,
So the
you
most,
know, I know better than that. I know better than that. They both have a lot to say. Yeah.
so just, stay prayed up, stay faithful in all things that we do. Do not fear, don't fret. Pray for those of our family that's still being led away by false prophets, because the sheep's and the wolves in sheep's clothing. As you see the what's in the media, I mean on social media now with yes, the dress. And
I knew
when
it.
you, when you scan, when it's sad when you scan, when the camera scan the congregation. I'm like, wow, it's like a sea of people that, so I
Accepting
won't
of
go
this
too far
behavior.
on that, but just stay prayed up and be thankful that we're pray for those that don't see yet. That's how I should put it. So um and I know the Most High says He has a time to wake up everyone, and in His time everything is going to work out. But it was just scary to see how you know large and we know the path is to the wrong path is wide and the other path is narrow to salvation. So just just pray that our families and our that we wake up and see quickly.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. But yeah, you guys stay prayed up, pray for us as we pray for you, and have a blessed day as well as a wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, y'all.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessing.